Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Sorry it took so long to get this video out, but today we're going over the units that I'm anticipating to see in EB08 for Granblue. And Bushiroad made it a little bit hard because they came out with a poster yesterday after I finished recording the initial video. And I saw the poster and it showed one of the confirmed units for Granblue and for D-Police. So I had to rework those two videos. So D-Police you guys should be getting probably Tuesday, maybe Monday at the very earliest. Anyway, let's jump right into this. So one of the first units that I do want to see is Night Mist, because Night Mist brought along the 7 Seas archetype, and as degenerative as the 7 Seas archetype was back then, we don't have Stride now, and there's nothing really holding them back from bringing back and reworking how 7 Seas worked. They're supposed to be like a rush deck of sorts, and it's in a protect deck, and we already do have, you know, Granblue, well, not Granblue, but Nubatama. They already do multiple attacks, and they are a protect deck, so I don't see why not. I don't see why it couldn't work. But in the Night Mist that I'm talking about is like the Break Ride Night Mist from like BT13, you know, Catastrophic Outbreak, I think it was, that had Chaos Breaker and Tetra Drive and Tidal Assault. So, you know, that's definitely a thing that I can see like so much promise in, is the 7 Seas deck, because it could be so different from the current version of the deck right now. Next is Deadly Nightmare. Deadly Nightmare and Monster Frank, because those two definitely, like, they res themselves. Well, one of them rode from the drop zone, and the other one just brought itself back from the drop zone. Along with Deadly Nightmare. I don't know if I just said that, but even if I did, who cares? Those are all units that like bring themselves back. Currently, Granblue, as far as I know, they don't have any units that self-bring themselves back besides the Grade 1 sword, where you have to have another copy in the drop zone, and then you bind the other copy, you countercharge, and then you res that thing. Not positive, but that's, you know, I'm no Granblue expert, and which is why it was kind of hard for me to make this list. Next, King Serpent for countercharge, because Granblue right now only have one option, as well as Aquaforce, but whatever. King Serpent is definitely a famed unit in the Granblue community. Like when I did start playing Night Rose, when the deck actually got good, you couldn't find a Granblue deck without at least 2 copies of this card. So, you know, bring back the countercharging. I don't care if he is at 8K. You can run that risk of, I'd run that risk of riding him to, you know, get back resources, especially for Granblue. They want to be able to keep up with the meta and actually like do something besides be a punching bag for everybody else in Narukami. Next, and well, last and definitely not least, Cositus. Because if we don't see Cositus, I think people are going to be mad. I don't think Granblue has had too many good boss monsters. I know they had like Spirit Exceed and a couple other things, and Spirit Exceed was like its own little superior ride thing, I think. From the drop zone anyway. But Cositus back then, he brought back stuff. It was like I remember specifically Cositus Reverse. Like he was like I think he was Rest a unit or Lock a unit, and then he brought back 2 other units, and then they got power and whatever. But Cositus is probably like one of the more memorable early days Grade 3 units besides Night Mist, besides Captain Night Mist, the Grade 3, that I think people should be excited to see make its way back into Vanguard. Well, for the V series anyway, and then probably even ramp up for Premium, which I am actually getting ready to do, because I'm, like I said before, I'm building Thavas, well, in previous videos I said I'm going to build Dauntless, I'm going to build Ripples, and then eventually Blue Waves, unless Valeo's Stride, or new Valeo Stride doesn't do much. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully soon I'll have the Deep Leagues video out, and we'll see you guys sometime soon.